in the end, I thought to see maybe some of the early on jitters kind of wear off and our guys just settle in and start to play a little bit, make some plays. And the reality of it is it's funny how football comes back to, the ball and scoring in the red area. And, I thought that showed up today. Critical turnover at the end of the first half, return it for a touchdown, and then inability for one team to score in the red area and ability for the other two. But all in all, again, it was fun, I think, for our guys just to get out and compete. Clearly, we've got a long way to go, but that's why we work at it. We've come a long way here over 3.5 months, but we've got plenty of work to do here starting in June and then into fall camp.
Thank you, Coach. Go ahead, Sam, start us off.
Sark, what do you think of how the quarterbacks managed the offense overall?
I thought they managed it, fine. I thought maybe both guys were maybe a little bit jittery at times in the pocket and lost our eyes, but that's understandable in a spring game. I thought there were some other really good throws that were made, and we had a couple drops in there. But again, I think just overall efficiency, not bad. Now we just got to make sure we're efficient in the red area and we're scoring touchdowns.
Brian Davis, go ahead.
Steve, you kind of touched on it there, but with only 2 offensive touchdowns, how much are you chalking that up to split squads, conservative game plan, the whole bit with that?
Spring game.
Kirk Bowles, go ahead.
Yeah, Steve, I was curious your thoughts about your defense and especially your defensive line. And do you feel like you've identified people there that can be good pass rushers?
Yeah, I think that's kind of one of the strengths of our team. I think we're relatively deep there. I know we were a little thinned out on both sides of the ball today, but I think we've got a pretty good rotation there. And again, we'll get a couple guys, back off of injury. We'll get some young, some players coming in and the beginning of fall camp or into the summer that will add to that. And I think good teams are good up front, and I think that we've got a pretty good defensive front going right now.
Mr. Tavares, you're up.
Steve, what was the biggest thing you wanted to get out of today, and were you able to do that? And same thing with the spring as a whole with all 15 practices.
Well, I think the one key anytime you go into a spring game is you want to come out of it healthy. This is late into the spring and you're letting guys compete and tackle, which we wanted to do today and not make it, just kind of two-hand touch. So we tackled today. So coming out of this thing healthy is a win for us on that front. 2, I wanted to let the guys just kind of let their hair down a little bit and play football. We're a very structured operation. We're very structured in practice, even when we scrimmage. So to get into this environment and just let them play ball, keep score, have to sub, everybody getting an opportunity to play. Those were all kind of things I wanted to get accomplished today.
Nick Moyle, go ahead.
Yeah, Sark, it felt like a little bit of a mixed bag with the wideouts today. What do you think about their play? And just on Troy O'Meary, how do you think he did, like getting in there for a little bit, and any issues with that knee? I saw him kind of, grab it after that catch.
I thought it was good to have Troy out there. He's been making a lot of progress coming off of it. I thought our receivers in general, I thought maybe that we were a little anxious to start, but I thought they settled down and settled in. So I thought we've laid a good foundation for these guys heading into the summer.
Bob Ballou, go ahead.
Sark, what do you think you learned about Bijan Robinson that maybe you didn't know going into the spring, and just how impactful of a player and leader is he on this team right now?
Well, I mean, he's clearly a very talented player. I think one thing that sometimes it's hard to tell, when you're just watching tape is the suddenness of his cuts. I think he makes tremendous cuts, especially in tight quarters. But like all of us, and I think we've all got room to grow. We can all improve, and Bijan's no different. This was the first stage of being in a new system. So we got 15 practices under our belt, and, just like everybody, we've got work to do, and he's got work to do to make sure he's the best player he can be come Labor Day weekend.
Terry Middleton, go ahead.
Coach, good afternoon. It was great to watch the game today, but it was also equally as great to watch you and your staff interact. Can you walk us through what were you doing? There were certain plays where you were squatting down almost to get a bird's eye view of the play as it unfolded. Was that really what was happening? And then I noticed you would kind of talk to your staff through your mic and almost like, okay, I saw this. Is that what was happening? And can you walk us through that?
Well, yeah, I mean, my coaching position of comfort is that kind of squatted stance. So I don't, you'll see me in that more than not as we move forward here. That's just where I kind of land. In days like this, you try to split the staffs as best you can and let those guys kind of manage some of the personnel and things. I just want to make sure we were getting some substitutions done and letting them understand the situations. But I literally was sitting back and watching our guys compete, watching them play, seeing the guys that could kind of persevere and fight through when they got a little tired. So that was some of the things I was looking for. I really wasn't involved in any of the play calls or anything. I was really letting it go and letting those guys handle it.
John Hyde, go ahead.
Coach, both quarterbacks had their moments throughout the spring game, but did it surprise you that neither really set themselves apart? And what does the one that does that have to do to set himself apart?
The biggest thing we're looking for is a level of consistency. I think naturally, especially when people come to spring game, they're looking for the wow plays. And the wow plays are dangerous plays to play with if you don't play consistently, because they can distract you from maybe some mishaps along the way. We look for consistency. We look for doing what you're asked to do, consistently doing your job down after down after down. And then those plays, those wow type plays naturally occur. So we didn't try to force those things today. I just wanted to see them manage the offense that they were charged to manage, and see how consistently we could play. And I think we definitely have some room to grow in that area as we go into the summer and into fall camp.
Cedric Golden, you're up.
Yeah, I know you have to install your new offense, get your new coaching staff together, and all the while trying to get a football team going. As far as your quarterbacks are concerned, did you get what you needed from them as far as spring, knowing that you got a lot of time until, the fall? And also, just for the record, you guys aren't practicing anymore. This was it, right?
Yeah, I'll start backwards. Yeah, this was our last spring practice. This was number 15, so we're done here. I think we made a lot of headway throughout spring with the quarterbacks. I mean, they had some really, really cool moments. I thought we had some really cool kind of teachable moments along the way that I thought they learned from and learned from each other. And that's key to the drill, is when one guy, maybe makes a mistake, that everybody can learn from it. So when that opportunity, I like to call it, presents itself again, we don't continually make the same mistakes. And in that part, I saw a lot of growth. I felt like these guys really kind of made strides and steps from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2. Clearly even into Thursday's practice with a lot of the situations we put them in. And then for the most part today, I thought the guys made some throws and did some nice things. What I would look for coming out of today is more consistency, because that's the key to the drill and operating our offense.
Our 4 final questions in queue. Go ahead, Danny, you go first.
Steve, going forward, is Cameron Dicker an option at punter? Or is that just because Ryan's still injured and it's spring football?
I think Cameron's a real option at punter. He's a really good kicker in general, kickoff, field goal, and punter. We'll go through fall camp there, and when the time comes to start the season, we'll put the best players in position that give the team the best chance to have success at every position, and punter won't be any different.
Anwar, you're up.
Hey, Coach, I apologize if you've been asked this earlier, but can you just assess what you saw from your DBs today and the plays that they were making on the ball, in a little bit more detail of what you felt like you saw from that defensive line up front?
I thought defensive secondary wise, again, it was a little bit of a watered down version of our defense, right? So not maybe as much variety as you'll see in the fall, whether it was from a coverage standpoint or a pressure standpoint. I thought our guys were competitive on the ball. Obviously, Jameson with a big interception there at the end of the first half to return it for a touchdown was a huge 14-point swing. As our defensive line is concerned, again, I think we're an active group up front. And we were active today, and we weren't moving them as much as we've been moving them coming into this game. So again, I think that they provide a real strength to our team, starting up front on your defensive line. But their activity in our attacking style is going to be critical to our success.
Two last ones. Jeff Howe, go ahead.
Hey, Sark, what do the next few weeks look like leading up to summer workouts, whether it's player meetings, transfer portal activity, whatever it is? What do those next few weeks look like?
We'll meet with every player. I'll have an individual meeting with every player. We got to do a great job of finishing school, finishing the semester, and then doing a great job with finals. They'll get a couple weeks off there, and then we'll crank it back up here June 1st.
Last one, Chip.
Sark, what do you like most about the progress your defense made, and what are your biggest concerns there, and what are you seeing from Prince Dorba?
Again, I like our attacking style on defense. My biggest concern is that we don't play that way, and I think Prince fits into the fold with us.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Brian Davis, start us off.
Bijan, hey, what did you think of just today? Did you think that today was emblematic of what you've seen from the offenses all spring?
I thought today was great. Just to get other guys in and see other skill sets that sometimes we just don't see in spring practice. But I thought today went really smooth. I feel with all of us, we ran kind of a simpler offense, but I feel when we get the full offense in and to execute everything, then it'll be a lot smoother, and we'll show everybody what we can do beyond this.
Rob Blue, go ahead.
Yeah, Bijan, it looked like you got dinged up or tweaked something right on that last play. Can you tell us what happened there? And then just an overall perspective of how frustrating it is that you can't run the whole offense for everyone, but how excited you are to kind of go from there.
Yeah, well, that last play, I thought I tweaked my ankle a little bit, but I did it. But it just felt a little sore, but then I could go again. I was fine after that. And, with the offense, we all have, jobs to do. And when we start, executing faster and at a better level, all of us can start, providing for this offense, and the best way that we can. But I feel that just all of us contributing from quarterback to receivers to a line to running backs, I feel we all have a job. And, what we see in the fall and when the fall comes and fall ball comes, then we'll see, what we can all do, as a team.
John, how you're up?
Hey, Bijan, where do you want to see yourself improve as you guys go forward?
Just learn the game a lot. Just be real mature about how my development is. From third level reads, before the play even starts, and just anticipating the play before we say hike, and I feel just the growth that we are, and I know I'm still kind of a younger back, but I feel just me trying to learn everything that I can, from all the defenses, all defensive schemes. I feel that's what I'm trying to do, for next season.
Chip, go ahead.
Bijan, who stood out to you the most in terms of their growth on offense and defense this spring?
I feel for offense, it was Jordan Whittinson. He had a lot coming in. He had a lot of injuries and things took him out. Sometimes throughout the season. But I feel like he just put his head down and just worked hard. And I feel that he's doing the best that he can and for his potential. Right now, a receiver, and I feel with the season he'll make a big impact for this offense. And for defense, I feel David Benda has been a big improvement. I feel all he just needed was a chance, to show a skill set, and I feel like he's just, been the best, at defense. But we have so many great defensive players, so many great offensive players. Ray Thornton, he came in, from LSU, and he's made a big impact. A lot of our DBs, I just feel, but David Benda's been a great competition for me.
Chris Tavares, you're up.
Bijan, you've got a whole spring practice, a spring game. The few months before that with Sarkisian and this new staff, what's your overall feel for where this program is as you head into the summer before training camp starts?
Well, right now I feel great. where we are right now. We improved a lot in the spring, for especially with Coach Sark coming in, with the new coach, new system. I feel that all of us, got the schemes down really, really good, really fast. And when fall comes and we really get to show what we can do with each other as a team, as an offense, especially, and as a defense. But I feel that I feel really excited about what we're heading into. We have a lot of great players, a lot of threats out, trying to just be the best that we can. So I'm excited and I feel pretty good.
Thanks.
Kirk Bowles, you're up.
Yeah, Bijan, who on the defense creates the most havoc today and in the spring games, and who's the hardest hitter on that defense?
I feel the whole defense is, some hard hitters. Like I said, David Benda is a great defensive player. He makes a lot of plays, in the backfield and the open field. Then we got Deshaun Jameson at corner, just bringing the heat and locking down stuff. He I feel is one of the best corners, in college football, just because how he works and how he brings it every day. But I feel our whole defense is very, very good. They give us a lot of competition, and they just help us. So when we get in the fall, that we've seen this kind of athletic ability before, and we'll just attack a lot smoother and a lot better.
Sam Kahn, you're up.
Bijan, I saw you guys have used a lot of different personnel packages, a lot of 11 and 12 and even some 10. What do you think of the variety of formations you guys have used and how that will help you guys offensively?
Well, I think it helps a lot. It mixes up defenses. You just can't stop one formation or two formations. We have a lot of different things that we can, trick you with or bring out. And I feel it's just a harder offense to defend and to try to stop, because all of those players can do a lot of things, from even with the running backs catching out the backfield, lining up a receiver. We have a lot of, different things coming, with the offense to get open and to get people, mixed up on defenses. So I feel our offense is, we have a lot of stuff that we have, and I know we didn't show it all, but when it comes, it'll be very effective in the fall.
Time for three last ones. Chuck Carlton, you first.
Yeah, Bijan, in terms of just the offense, and obviously it was pretty vanilla today, but in terms of the complexity in learning this, how much do you have down and how much will it take for this to become, I guess, second nature for you and the entire offense?
I feel the offense has the majority of the plays down. Coach Sark brought it a lot. He brought everything, this spring. We didn't really, do small things at a time. We just got the whole playbook and just went for it. But I feel that now in our development that we all, pretty much got the plays down. We got to keep learning them, keep repping them to get that repetition. But as of right now, I feel we are pretty good with what we got, and we'll just keep going at it, keep attacking it.
Joe Cook, you're up.
Bijan, we've all talked about you and Roshan and how y'all have a pretty good 1-2 punch. But so how is it to see a guy like Gabe be there in the backfield with you and have a pretty solid day out there?
Man, it was great. Gabe's a hard worker, in our room, and he brings a lot, for us. And just to see him, run the ball today, anticipate, create contact, break tackles, it was a great thing to see, because that's what we do in practice, and to see him, carry it over. To the spring game was exciting to see. And so, in the fall, just see that we got, all the guys in our room, we just have an edge about us, and different skill sets to bring, to the show. And even Danny Young, how he, made a good impact today. I feel he did very well as well. And we have a lot of great guys in that room to show for everybody.
Last one, Terry Middleton.
Bijan, good afternoon. So tonight, when you go home and tomorrow over the weekend, when you replay this day over in your mind, what are some of the things you're going to say to yourself and some of the things you'll coach yourself with after you kind of replay and go through what happened today?
I feel just keep anticipating. I feel I can grow in a lot of areas. Today, we're a little banged up, for our group, but I'm not gonna make that in an effect. But I feel that, just keep working on, little things, different reads out of the backfield, different moves, in open space, and that's why I feel that I can improve on the most. I feel that our whole group can improve on that. And, when we keep doing that, I feel when we come back, it'll be better in effect, and we'll have a fun season next year.
Hey, Deshaun, first, what did you think of the performance today defensively, and also all spring? How do you feel about how you guys did on defense?
Throughout the spring, we kind of picked on a little slow on the defense and the schemes, and like towards the end, we all came together, made sure that we do our job, and made sure that everybody execute all their plays well. And that's one thing we did as a defense, is make sure we do our job and make sure we do it fast.
Danny Davis, go ahead.
John, what has been your impressions of Brendan Schooler and him moving over to the defense?
Man, hey, he surprised me. My God, he's a dog. I really love the way how he come down and hit. He shows that he could cover. He's one of the players that showed me and surprised me that he could actually play both sides of the ball and execute them both.
Kirk Bowles, you're up.
Yeah, Deshaun, what would you say is the one quality this staff is going to emphasize on defense, maybe differently than what y'all had been playing?
One thing they're going to emphasize is more just executing faster, starting faster, throwing the first punch. That's one thing we kind of have problems on, but we all just focusing on the little things, and as the day go by, we just try to like pick everything up one day by day, which is the one thing the coaches try to do. They don't try to put everything like all together. They try to do it day by day to make sure that everybody just actually do it right and do their job.
Chip Brown, go ahead.
Deshaun, you almost had 2 picks today, but how would you evaluate the play of the quarterbacks throughout the spring?
The QBs, they really taught me a lot. They taught me that I need to break faster. I need to make sure I keep my zone. Just make sure I do my job and stay in coverage. One thing Casey always do is just he's a great quarterback. He likes to look people off and throw it on the other side. But both QBs just showed out today. I mean, other than that, they did pretty good.
Carter Yates, you're up.
Hey, Deshaun, so there was multiple times today where the offense was able to get into the red zone, but it seemed like almost every time the defense clamped down, like with your pick 6, and then there was a couple other times. What was the difference in the red zone today for the defense?
The difference was we all came together in the huddle, and we told each other that we gotta, make sure they don't get in the end zone. We gotta make sure we do our job and do it fast, because when the offense is in the red zone, the ball comes out fast. So we try to make sure we break on the ball faster, make sure that we do our job. The red zone really picks up quickly. So we try to, break on the ball faster than anything.
Brian Davis, go ahead.
Deshaun, the defense was credited today with 9 sacks. How much do you think pressure up front from Jacoby, Mauro, Alfred, all those guys, that's going to help y'all on the back end and maybe get some of those picks for pick 6s and stuff?
The D line, they're some dogs, man. I mean, I appreciate them the most because they're the ones that's in the trenches. They're doing everything for us, and no, they're some hardworking guys. As we, go by with the spring, they worked on a lot of the little things to make sure that whenever we go out there, we execute our job and making sure we don't, do less mistakes. And that's one thing Coach Bo really taught those guys is to, do the little things right and make sure that nobody, don't do anything wrong. Make sure they're in their splits right. That's one thing they came together and did correctly.
Two last ones. Joe Cook, you're up.
Sean, on your interception, that ball, I think Casey threw it from the far hash to that pylon. That's a long throw. And so is that one of those throws that Coach Joseph, Coach Gideon, anybody on the defensive staff tells you, like, that's a play that you have to make and punish those types of throws?
Yes, that's one thing Coach Joe emphasizes on is make sure we see the receiver splits, making sure we see our divider zone, and making sure that whenever the ball is thrown, we don't really have to, like, you know what I'm saying, break on it fast, but as the ball comes, it's coming slowly. So like if the ball was on the right hash and I was on the boundary, it would come out faster than anything. So he makes sure that wherever the ball is at, that's how we react.
Last one, Bob Blue.
Yeah, just on that note, what did you see on the pick? And you've had a couple of those 95, 100-yard touchdowns now. What's that feeling as you're flying back down the sideline?
It was a great feeling. Knowing that I got a pick six. That's one of my goals for my senior year, to at least get 2 or 3 of them. I just played it as a kickoff return. Just seeing the ball through and just taking off.
Thanks to Sean. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Hey, Keandre, just tell me how you feel about your guys' performance today on the defensive line and overall throughout spring.
I mean, I feel great about the performance on both sides of the D-line. I was watching the other side too. I mean, first drive, it was kind of shaky. Offense got off a fast start. And after that, we regrouped on the sideline. I mean, I was getting a bunch of pressures. Mauro had like 3 sacks. Jacoby was getting TFL sacks. Ray was getting pressure, getting tackled. I mean, it just took us a little time to get back to football, I guess, shape at that time, because we had started early. Usually on scrimmages, we probably do a couple more, situational football, then go into scrimmaging. So it was amazing today.
Danny Davis, go ahead.
Keandre, what should we expect from Mauro this season? Obviously, 3 sacks today. That's a pretty good start to his year.
You said Mauro?
Yeah, Mauro.
I expect a lot this year. Moving him from DN to inside, I think really helped him a lot, because he don't got to have a lot of objectives, a lot of things to worry about on the outside. He could just go in the front, in the guard, quick sets, quick moves, get back there really fast. And so, I mean, all spring ball, he's been balling. Every time in one-on-ones he won. I don't even think Mauro probably ever lost. He probably lost twice. It's probably because he slipped on the grass. But Mauro is very active this spring ball, and he showed it off today.
Kirk Bowles, go ahead.
Yeah, Keandre, how's the scheme working differently for the defensive line, and what are the coaches' expectations on pass rush from you guys in the fall?
The scheme is fun because we really don't have a set front. I mean, we odd, we even, we have a bunch of fronts. And I kind of like that, because first 2 years I played in the odd front. Last year I played in the even front. So I'm used to both. And with PK and how he do the defense is pretty much, you're going to get plays out of each front. Even if you head up, you in the 2-eye, you in the 3, you double threes, he going to give you opportunity to make plays. You just got to execute. And I like the way his defense is.
Terry Middleton, go ahead.
Good afternoon. So you're pretty excited about that all gas, no brakes hat. Tell me what that means to you. What does that mean inside the locker room, on the field? And how do you fire up the players? How's everybody jacked up about all gas, no brakes?
So let me tell you. So when they first got here and said that, I'm kind of like, man, what is all gas, no brakes? And at first, going to all season, they was kind of slowly injecting, getting us into everything how they want us to be. And then when, I want to say a couple weeks before spring ball, they put it on us on that Friday, all gas, no brakes, and we seen them. We was like, man, this is real. They're not playing with us. They wanted to go the way they want to go, so we just got to get on board and do whatever they tell us to do. And then practice is literally all gas, no brakes. As soon as you step on the field, you going for 2 hours straight, and then when you get done, then that's when you put the brakes. We don't say no brakes, but that's what we use the brakes. That's why I use the brakes to get my recovery back. But I just like the fact that they know, we go on the field, we go fast every play, and we learn how to practice. That's what Coach Sarkisian preach. You practice good, you play good. And so, I mean, I just go out there and I'm all happy now because I'm used to it now. I can say that a couple weeks before spring ball, I wasn't used to it, all this all gas, no brakes. But now I feel like I'm into it now, and I like it.
Nick Moyle, go ahead.
Yeah, Keandre, between, like Alfred Collins, Vernon Broughton, Sawyer, y'all had a lot of younger guys really playing well today. What have you seen from them all spring? And just, what did you see observing them today?
What I seen today and then seeing all spring ball, it was kind of down on numbers in the D-line area. Sweat didn't practice the whole spring ball, and he's a great player, but Sawyer stepped up a lot this whole spring ball. Each day he got better at something. He really surprised me on every level, everything, to be honest. He really balled out. Myron too, not really playing football in high school, playing basketball, then come into football. He every day Coach Davis was on him to get him better, and obviously did. He got better. AC, the same thing. Freshman year was a star, and I could just this year he's just going to even be a better star. And then Vernon really got better at pass rushing. I could say Vernon probably the best pass rush we got in the defensive line. And then Mauro too. I mean, a lot of young cats, like you said. We just all worked together because we was all low on numbers, so we all knew that we had to be on the field and play. So we all on the same page. We all gonna be successful. That's what we did.
Sam Khan, you're up.
Hey, Keandre, you mentioned the multiple fronts that you guys have defensively. How has that helped you this spring, and how do you think it will help you be disruptive to opposing offenses this fall?
I mean, that helped me because it's a lot of schemes that I could play in, a lot of schemes that the offensive linemen gonna have to get adjusted to. I mean, you won't just always see me head up. You'll see me in the 2 out, you'll see me in the 3, you'll see me in different little fronts, different little motions. We might be all overload to the right, all overload to the left. So it's so many multiple fronts that PK gave me opportunity to win. Because when you just in the same front the whole game, offense is gonna obviously adjust to it and just scheme off of you. Scheme closing in, stuff like that. So I like the way PK got us moving in different directions, different motions, like different schemes. And I mean, the multiple schemes really help a lot to get a lot of one-on-one battles and different battles with the offensive linemen.
Last one, Chip, go ahead.
Keandre, you lost guys like Chris Brown and TQ and Joseph Osai, Caden. But how good can this defense be? Where are you all strong right now, and where do you have the most work to do?
Well, losing them dudes, it's hard because they were our defense last year. But I feel like this spring ball, man, we got a lot of people that stepped up. BJ stepped up a lot. You had Schooler moving from receiver to safety, ball the whole spring ball. You had Jaren. He's young, really young, and Jaren is a leader. Jaren's the one out there on the field. If you don't hear me on the field talking, you're going to hear him. And his voice is a little naggy, so you definitely going to hear him. And then you got the linebackers, David, because, our linebackers, we went down. We went down some linebackers, and David stepped up a lot. Luke stepped up a lot. Jay Ford stepped up a lot. And our DBs, they stepped up a lot. So, I mean, really with losing players, because with the people that we lost, the people behind it will learn from them. So, I mean, really didn't take a step back. We just got better and saw what they did wrong, and we're going to try to improve on that.
Keandre, appreciate it.
No problem. Hook 'em.